lovely people. Wonderful to see you again this week, and just to chat with you a bit. First of all, thank you so much for everyone's beautiful comments and just feedback and really encouragement just on last week's video. I really appreciate it, and just for me, it was such an encouragement to just hear the positive feedback. And just for me to have motivation to just keep on making videos. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Guys, today I want to share with you something that's it's so current in my life. It's what literally I'm in it right now. But I just experienced the Lord being like, this is a testimony in the making, but you're going to share it now already. So here we go. So the title or the theme I want to talk to you about is He'll Make a Way. Being God, God will make a way. And so let's jump right into it. Okay, so yesterday I auditioned for the Stellenbosch University Choir, which is the university I study at, Stellenbosch University's choir, and they are world-class choir. They are brilliantly fantastic. And it's been a dream of mine ever since I can remember, since I started singing choir, to sing in that choir one day. And I auditioned last year, but I didn't get in. But I just felt, let's try again this year. And so part of the audition, you have to sing your own choice song. So I sang Sing His Praise by Bethel. Jen Johnson sings it. And the bridge of that song goes, and I'll remember how our God has never failed us. Remember that His name will make a way, He'll make a way. And just before I went to record the video for the audition, my father was like, out of the blue, he was just like, He'll make a way. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did the recording, and I messaged my friend afterwards and just asked her to pray with me for just peace over the situation, for whatever the outcome may be. And the first thing she said to me was, just remember, He will find a way for you. He'll make a way for you. And I was like, okay, Lord, I get the message, thank you. Actually, on that, I did a video previously on ways the Lord speaks to us. I'll put the link up here above, then you can just go and check that out if you want, just about how the Lord speaks to us through other people. So just to realize that he'll make a way for me, whether it be through choir, through singing in this choir, or singing in some other choir, or doing something else with my love for music, because the Lord knows my heart. He knows how much I love singing, love praising Him, love music, but He knows, ultimately He knows what's best for me and what His plan is for me. And so last night, just before I went to bed, the conductor to whom I sent the videos, he received the videos, and when he received it, my heart just started beating so fast, and I just started praying and praising the Lord. I was like, Lord, just let your will be done, let your will be done, let His heart and His ears hear what He needs to, and just started praying over that. And it was like, literally, I experienced that, like the Lord, I experienced His hand just grabbing the situation, just taking hold of the situation. And really that's what I think that's why I have so much peace about this now, is just because what I experienced was divine intervention, so whatever happens, it is so very much His will. Like this is what He wants and what He knows is best for me, so I can have peace in that. So I want to share with you Genesis 22 from verse 1. It's just after Isaac was born to Abram and Rebekah. They waited a long time for Isaac, guys. Like, Abram was 100 years old, literally, when Isaac was born. So, promised child. Okay, so then in verse 1 of Genesis 22, it says, sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham, and he replied, here I am, God. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you. Sacrifice the son you just gave me, Lord. Like, that's so crazy. But verse 3, early in the morning, Abram got up and loaded his donkey. He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. So they went, they got the word, they got everything they needed. But then in verse 7, Isaac asks his father, Father, and Abram replies, Yes, my son. Then Isaac says, The fire and the wood are here, but where's the lamb for the burnt offering? And Abram answers, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. Crazy. And then in verse 10, after he lays Isaac down ready to offer him, it says, Then he reached out his hand and took his knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. Do not lay a hand on the boy, he said. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. And then in verse 13, Abram looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So that's so crazy, just like in that as well. Ultimately, God will make a way. He will make a way, he'll find a way for you. He provides a lamb, the same as he did with Jesus, to save all of us. But he wants to know, do you trust me? Do you trust me enough and with everything that you will sacrifice your one and only beloved son? I'm reminded of Psalm, I think it's Psalm 26. Yeah, Psalm 26, verse 2. Then David says, Test me, Lord, and try me. Examine my heart and my mind. And in Psalm 139, in verse 23, it says, Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. So I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy. Faith is not an easy journey. It's hectic. But ultimately the Lord wants to know here is do you trust me with everything you have? Another story. So in Exodus chapter 17, then the Amalekites, they came and they attacked the Israelites. And Moses says to Joshua, Choose some of our men. Oh, this is in verse 9. Choose some of our men and go out to fight the Amalekites. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with this staff of God in my hands. So Joshua fought the Amalekites as Moses had ordered, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. As long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites were winning, but whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites were winning. When Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Aaron and Hur held his hands up, one on one side and one on the other, so that his hands remained steady till sunset. So Joshua overcame the Amalekite army with the sword. And then in verse 15, it says, Moses built an altar and called it, The Lord is my banner, Jehovah Nissi. And that's just so amazing, just once again to realize that God will make a way. He will find a way for like in this case, for this battle to be won. So like we said, faith is radical. It's crazy. Faith is a radical thing. And I'm reminded of James, where he talks about faith with actions. In chapter 2, in verse 17, he says, In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. There's also this book, Life of Pi by Jan Martel, which is one of my favorites of all time. And there's this quote in it that says, Doubt is useful for a while. We must all pass through the Garden of Gethsemane. If Christ played with doubt, so must we. If Christ spent an anguished night in prayer, if he burst out from the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? Then surely we are also permitted doubt. But we must move on. To choose doubt as a philosophy of life is akin to choosing immobility as a means of transportation. And that's just such a cool quote, just to realize that faith is crazy, it is radical. But every time you declare, Lord, I trust you, Lord, here's my life, take it, Lord, I surrender, I have faith. You declare that he will make a way, and that you trust and that you believe that he will make a way. And then one last thing that I want to share with you is, this was the verse of the day yesterday. So beautiful just to read this as well. This is in 2 Corinthians 1 verse 3-4. It says, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God." And ultimately to know that, God is a God of comfort. He's a God that takes care of us, and he knows you through and through. There's this beautiful song by Grete. The chorus goes, "No one ever cared for me like Jesus. His faithful hand has held me all this way. And when I'm old and grey and all my days are numbered on the earth, let it be known, in you alone my joy was found." And it's just so beautiful just to know that, he cares for us and he looks after us. He does, in every way and in every aspect of life, and for each and every one of us. That's so amazing. So I hope that you could have been encouraged or inspired or comforted by this. Do know that he will make a way always. He always has a way, and he's good always. He always is good. Okay guys, that was today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe if you want, if you haven't yet, and leave me a comment down below of how you were encouraged, or any content that you would like to see in the future, any videos that you would like me to make in the future. That was He'll Make a Way, and I'm Grete. Bye guys.